Hi guys, happy Fusion family. Happy 4th of July weekend. I hope you all had a great weekend and I hope you got to spend time with some friends, family, loved ones, and enjoy yourself a little bit. I wanted to come to you today to talk about, it's raining outside, chewing your food. And the importance of chewing your food, because this is incredibly fundamental for our overall health and wellness. I know I've done another video about it before, but what I want to sort of like integrate today, because tomorrow I'm going to make sure you have a meditation in your email, is finding mindfulness wherever, whenever you are, but especially when you are eating. So I want you to think of your food as something sacred, right? Something that is nourishing your body instead of something that just sort of that you do to fill the time, right? And so if you take a moment, which it may sound crazy, you know, I personally, you know, for a while there, I felt like I had no business eating meat that I couldn't look in its eyes and take its life. I never did do that, but there are times that I still feel that way. For a while we had chickens in our backyard and I thought, you know, I have no business eating meat and consuming chicken if I can't look in this chicken's eyes, look into the soul of this chicken before culling it to prepare for food later. And maybe I'll get there again. You know, I definitely think as we move forward into this new earth that we do need to recognize and honor life in all its forms. I mean, we should be doing that anyway, but I think that's going to be imperative to moving forward to usher in just this beautiful, peaceful, harmonious new way of living. To really appreciate that another living being, living creature is giving its life up for the nourishment of our body if you choose to eat meat. There are many yogis and other people who choose not to eat meat and they're vegan or they are vegetarian and so they wouldn't consume animal flesh. That's not me, because I do believe that for my body it is important that I have some meat and animal flesh. So again, it's going to be up to you, and you have to listen to your body on what works for your body, because we are all bio-individual beings, and I think that too is another part of what we have going on here, is really getting in touch with who we are at the essence of our being, speaking that truth, living that truth, not shying away or backing down or stepping away from what we feel to be true intuitively just because our neighbors, our communities, our churches, our religious organizations, our schools, our government, all of it, just because they are doing a certain thing. I think it's really important that we get in touch with who we are authentically. To me, if we are going against who we are and what resonates as our truth, then we aren't able to really love ourselves, for one. I mean, if I'm doing something that I don't believe to be true, there's no way I can have that self-love, and then there's no way I can show up for those around me in the loving capacity that I could if I was honoring myself first. So, you know, to some it may seem selfish, but if we're all attached to sort of this source energy, whether it's God or divine presence, quantum field, quantum physics, universe, whatever you want to call it, right? To me, it's like a thread sort of interwoven. We're all a part of this. And if we are coming from our heart space and connected to this oneness, then no matter what our decisions are, they are ultimately going to be in the best interest of all involved. So I want you to think about your food, because eating can become a meditation, just as sweeping the floor, vacuuming, washing the dishes. The idea with meditation and mindfulness is to become present right here, right this very second. We tend to like ruminate on the past, all the things, the shoulda, woulda, couldas, or the future. We worry about the future. So my hand's way out here to the right. So we worry about what's in front of us, and then we stress or ruminate about what is behind us. So they're sort of a little bit different. You may even ruminate, but I tend to think of worry as future, and then ruminate on the past, which could come up as worry too. It's like, am I gonna keep doing maybe this, this, and this in the future? So it could kind of look both ways. But again, when you think about those two things, the future and the past, they're just in your mind. The only thing that actually is right now. Like right this second. Right this second, I'm sitting on this couch. I'm creating this video. I have a cushion on my lap. The rain is coming down outside. I can hear it. There's the window behind me, right? That is right here, right now. The rest is an illusion. It's all in my head. It's already done. And I know it feels like, to me, like it's taken me a long time to kind of wrap my head around the past. It's not real. The future is not real. They're just living in our head. They're things that we have created in our mind. The only thing real is right this very second. And even the video and the moments before, right this very second, are already gone, right? And so what I want you to consider doing is really becoming more mindful with your food, because it is going to nourish your body. You know, if the body is the temple, then it will nourish your body. And chewing the food is the only voluntary part of that. If you don't chew your food well, then the body has to work, the stomach, the enzymes has to work so much harder to digest the food than if you started chewing your food thoroughly in your mouth. That would take a lot of the work out of it, making the food and the nutrients, the micronutrients and macronutrients get to the cells where they need to go so much more efficiently. So, chewing your food. Now, I want you could experiment with taking an almond or two and chewing them up and then swallowing them like you normally would. And then what I want you to do is I want you to take those almonds and I want you to close your eyes and I want you to chew I don't want you to start chewing right away. What I want you to do is sort of, roll the almonds around in your mouth, and I want you to feel the texture of the almonds. And I want you, actually even before that, I want you to smell the almonds. Again, it could be something else, but I want something that you have to chew. Almonds are a little chewier. And really take the time to chew those almonds all the way to liquid. And think of it as a meditation. I am chewing my food. Maybe that's the mantra the whole time you chew 2 almonds. Make that the mantra, whether it's the 2 almonds or whether it's your lunch. Every single bite, we're talking about 20 to 30 chews per bite of food, so that by the time you are finished, the food in your mouth is complete liquid. The longer you chew your food, the sweeter it will begin to taste because of the enzymes released in your mouth, which might also decrease your cravings for sugar later. This ends up in your belly, and it's so much easier for you to digest your food once it gets there. So it really is about chewing your food, not to live in the present moment, but it's sort of a mindfulness practice so that you can bring your awareness to the present. You're not watching TV. You might be talking to a friend. You might even, if you're having a hard time with this, set your fork down in between bites. You're not listening to a bunch of music. You're not, talking to this on the phone. You're not doing all those things. And those are all habits that I can get into really easily. And as having been a server, I learned to eat really fast, waiting tables or like in the car, running carpool, whatever it was that I was doing. So I learned to eat really fast. And it has not been best for my digestive system, right? This can create havoc on the digestive system. You might find yourself with gas and bloating and diarrhea and constipation and indigestion and heartburn and all the things that you might have from not chewing your food very well, not to mention that you just are not going to absorb your nutrients the same, because if you have not chewed your food and you don't have the enzymes in your stomach, the hydrochloric acid, the pepsin, the other enzymes from the pancreas and so forth, then you're not going to break down that food fully, and you're not even going to be using it. And ultimately, our health comes from breaking down the food. You could have the cleanest diet in the world, and if you aren't breaking down your food and it's not getting all the way to the cells, so what? It doesn't freaking matter. So for the next week, I want you to really experiment with being mindful with your food. So mindful eating, really slow, chewing your food to liquid. And you could just continue to think while you chew, I am chewing my food to liquid. I am chewing my food to liquid. And you see how that's going to change from, oh, I better hurry up and eat this so I can get blah, 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 wherever I got to go and go meet Sally, right? To, I'm chewing, I am chewing, I am chewing. And you're not thinking about what you were doing yesterday or tomorrow or anything else. So I want you to really, like I said, work on chewing your food to liquid and being incredibly mindful about it. You could even eat with your left hand, right? You could do the experiment with almonds, but then with each and every meal, you can eat with your left hand. You can eat with your right hand. You can put your hand down, your fork down between bites. All of those things to work on mindfully eating so that your body is more thoroughly and efficiently nourished, and that you generally feel better. And then after that, I want you to think about how you feel. You know, maybe you don't eat as much. Maybe you notice that you get full sooner because you're giving the body the time it needs to send the feeling of fullness to the brain. Maybe you feel more relaxed. Maybe you notice the heartburn disappears. You know, who knows what that is, but I want you to just notice what you notice upon chewing your food more thoroughly. So that is my message this week, and look for the meditation as well. It's about 15 minutes. So the meditation is a sound meditation. We kind of do a little bit of that in yoga, but we're just the meditation is on just focusing on the sounds that you hear, and it is about 15 minutes. But remember, yoga means to unite with source energy, whatever that is for you, divine, quantum field, quantum physics, the universe, God, Allah, and there's so many different names for God or good orderly direction. Whatever that is for you, the idea is to unite with that source, to quiet the monkey mind so that you can actually gain the insight and the wisdom from that source energy that we're all connected to and that connects us all. It sort of, like I said, weaves us together. So I hope you all have had a great weekend, and I hope you have a great week, and I will see you soon.